Hello, you wonderful people. So for today's video, it's going to be another me rambling about my personal life type of video. Probably won't be as all over the place and slightly depressing like the last one was, but this is, I guess it kind of has a correlation because last episode was kind of my life in general, but also kind of a nostalgia trip. This video is going to be kind of a definite nostalgia trip because I just in a personal way, not anything nerdy in any correlation, but I recently found this list of old contacts. I wrote a whole bunch of numbers down on a construction piece of paper. I found it in one of my dresser drawers recently, and I guess it might have been at one of those times where I was switching phone services and ended up losing my a whole bunch of stuff. But either way, might have had a hard reset a phone or something. I don't remember what the case may have been, but again, I had a whole bunch of names on the list. Some people I'm like, who is this person and why do I know them? There's some people I'm like, oh yeah, I met this person online and then we became friends offline. And then some of them were band related stuff because there was a couple years ago when I was trying to start make a band. Didn't work out. But because I know one the name, because everything is in alphabetical order. I know the name at the top of the list was my friend Anna, which we talked over the years, and obviously the fact is I've just talked to her a couple of days ago, so that's serendipitous, interestingly enough. But there's also I know what both of my sister's old phone numbers up there, so it's just kind of a range of just different phone numbers and people. Funny enough, one of the people up there was a friend named Scarlett, who I haven't talked in a very, very long time. I lost touch with her sadly, but we were music buddies. We bonded over the fact is that we liked a lot of the same bands, specifically metalcore bands. In fact, I want to say one of the first bands we bonded over was Asking Alexandria. But either way, tangent and all that aside, like I said, that I tried to contact a lot of those numbers, did not get any response back. To be fair, it's some of those people I'm like, dude, we haven't talked in years, so you probably don't even remember who I am. Once again, I don't even remember some of the people on this list of how we know each other, so I'm some of that would have been a moot point. But it's Scarlett in particular I wanted to try and reach out to, but sadly that that didn't pan out. But the reason I'm also bringing this up because I was so in a nostalgia kick. I logged into Facebook for the first time in years. I've never been the biggest Facebook person. The only reason why I got on Facebook in the first place is I had a friend named Aurora who I met through Crunchyroll, who's hey, let's be friends on Facebook too. That's the only reason why I made a Facebook in the first place years and years ago. So I've never been I check it every once in a while. I used to check it maybe every 6 months or something. It's never been one of those platforms I've actively been on. But yeah, I can't tell you the last time I actually went and logged in, but I did, and I kind of got nostalgia overload because a lot of my friends on that Facebook are friends I had in high school. I've lost touch with a lot of people after graduating high school, which I graduated in 2011. Yeah, it's been 13 years since I graduated high school, but it's also just because also I didn't do myself any favors because in my mid-20s I really I kind of talked about it in my mid-20s kind of had a dark period. There's one I talked about it last video. There was a dark day in particular, but that was also a dark period where I got extra introverted and really turned inward and just kind of those were my mid-20s was my isolation period because I really kind of kept to myself hardcore. Still haven't really fully pulled myself out of that pit even at 31 now, but that's a story for another day. But it correlates with the fact is right, so many people I didn't keep in touch with was such a bummer. But now it's just once again, I even said I know I graduated high school 13 years ago, but it's still that the thing of oh my god, look at the people you knew and where their lives are now. There is a friend, someone on Facebook I've known since elementary school. I knew them. We went to the same elementary school, we went to the same middle school for a while, then we went to the same high school, and I'm seeing she's celebrating her son's 14th birthday. I'm that's insane to think you have a 14-year-old. And I'm seeing a whole bunch of other people some with older kids, some with little kids, and it's just the wildest thing. I know once again that's oh, what would you think, Michael? Time passes and stuff like that. It never correlates. I have nieces and nephews who are teenagers, that it's still boggles the mind. I guess it's I get so focused on my family in that correlation that it never makes me think about, oh yeah, what about the people you knew in high school who were in that same situation. So that's the wildest thing to me. But One person I came across which I thought was so interesting was there was someone I knew in high school. Her name is Tori. I found out she's married and has like 2 kids. I was like, oh, that's beautiful. That's awesome. It's not even like a jealousy thing, because I always flip back and forth on whether I want kids or not. That's always kind of a struggle, because I'm like, I have too much bullshit that I need to figure out before I like end up like passing that on to some kids. Like I'm a mess, so like I'm not going to pass that on to kids. And that's also, I'm not responsible. I'm barely responsible for myself. I've made the argument I'm not responsible for myself in a lot of ways, but like who am I to kind of bring a kid in this world? And you know, that's a whole, you know, conversation in itself. But either way, like my point was like, it's not even like a jealousy thing of like, oh, I wish it's like, no, I'm like happy for these people. I'm like, oh man, look at people's lives. Obviously some people have not updated in a while, but I mean, you know, I'm hopeful that a lot of people are good. I saw some updates from people I've known in the past, but it was like, it's kind of that nice thing of like, I'm happy to see people happy. That's awesome. Like, oh man, I remember you. I haven't seen you in so long, and it's just so kind of cool seeing you being a parent, and just seems like life is good for you. So that's all. That is legitimately like a thing of putting a smile on my face and being like, oh, I'm happy for everyone. But anyway, circling back to Tori, the reason why why her in particular kind of caught my attention, it just made me nostalgic for the fact is, it's not like a thing of, oh, I'm trying to recapture those glory days type of thing. Once again, maybe you can interpret it that way, but it was just kind of like a funny thing to like see her again, because I've seen her in so long. I haven't talked to her since like we graduated high school, but I had the biggest crush on her. Like she might have been my #1 crush in high school. Like I want to say like maybe we became friends like my sophomore year, maybe my junior year of high school. Basically, I ended up taking world history, which is a freshman class, like 3 or 4 different times, because I just a lot of long story short, a lot of ways through high school I kind of gave up, and so that's one of those classes I had to take repeatedly. I want to say it was like my junior year, and school was like, I don't know if every school has this, but basically the lunch period is during your 3rd period class. There's 3 different lunches. There's first lunch, there's second lunch, and the third lunch. They all take place at different points in time throughout 3rd period. Different classes have, some classes have first lunch, some classes have second lunch. Sometimes it's divided up by grades, but it was really just depending on what class you were taking. Either way, the class I was taking like a world history class at the time, and I think I think it was a second period lunch. Second lunch in 3rd period, and like the world history class, because it is a freshman class, was on the freshman hall, so she would pass by that classroom a lot. I don't know if like one of her classes, it was just the fastest way to go, because I remember there was a whole thing where like freshman teachers would get on upperclassmen about, why are you on this hallway? Like it's like, because it's the fastest way to get to my classroom, which is like, it's just a beeline this way instead of having to go through multiple hallways this way. That's a whole conversation. But she would constantly walk past the classroom from time to time, and she just happened to look in and see me inside, and she'd smile and wave and say hi to me. I'd say like, hi, Michael, and it's not an exaggeration. It would make my day. Yes, because it's like your stereotypical cliche like teenage movie or angst thing of like, oh my god, the girl I'm crushing on, or I think is very beautiful or pretty, like said hi to me. Oh my god, this is the best day ever. It's like that. It would legitimately make my day. I was like, I looked forward to her. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna see Tori today, and I see her and I'm like, I never talked to her as often as I wish I did, but I'd consider us friends, because she was also like super nice. She might even had a boyfriend at the time, but I didn't care. It was just like, I was so like infatuated by her that I just thought she was like, just like, to me it's like, you were one of the prettiest girls in high school. Once again, beauty is so subjective, but I always thought she was so beautiful. And so, because it could be a mistake, but she has like, I think naturally curly hair. She would often put it in a ponytail, but like when she like let her hair down and it was straight, I don't know why, it was just like, you got like, in my head she was already beautiful and she got like extra beautiful. So I don't know, it sent me on that nostalgia kick of like, you know, like crushes going by type of situation. So once again, it was kind of nice to see, like, you know, it's like, oh, you like married with kids, you know, I'm hoping everything's great. Hope life's been treating her well and continues to treat her well in the future. But it was just like I said, just kind of sent me down that nostalgia kick. So I don't know, it just got a lot of, the whole nostalgia thing of it all, and when it comes to life, put a smile on my face. I think I've been in a better mood recently, where it's just like, I'm not one of those people who's like, oh my god, high school was the glory days. It's like, a lot of high school was dark for me, not because any particular thing, it's just that's where I started coming out of my shell, but that's also at the same time when I started reverting and introverting back into my shell, just because of just life happening and me not being able to properly like not having emotional intelligence to be like, yeah, I'm not okay, and just kind of bottling a lot of stuff up. I was sad, I was angry, I was going through it at the time, but I kind of kept a lot of that to myself. But it's not one of the things I'm like, oh, I look back on high school like those are the glory days. It's like, they were fine. There's elements of it, like, it's not even like, oh, I wish I did better in school, because I kind of don't give a shit. That was kind of my issue at the time, and still would be my issue now. But it's more like, I wish I'd been more sociable. I wish I'd kept in touch with people. Those are kind of like the elements of it that's kind of sad. But it has, like, especially because I recently had that conversation with my friend Anna about the whole element of, hey, like, you know, keeping in touch with friends that have kind of changed, and it's like, ooh, should we really be friends anymore? And, you know, the conversation of trying to reach out to new people. That's actually kind of something I think I was trying to do with the overall nostalgia thing recently, was like getting in contact with people again. Not just like old friendships and stuff like that, but also put myself in a more position to be more sociable, to reach out, make new friends. It's not the easiest thing to me. I can talk to people, I just choose not to, because I get very anxiety driven and like ridden, and I just get too much in my own head because I overthink everything. But it's like, I'm okay socially. I think I make myself feel like I'm worse at it than I am, like, you know, but just the whole thing just kind of got me go like, I think I'm ready to kind of put myself out there, like, in a lot of different ways, not just relationship wise, but also like friendship wise. I just want to kind of like connect more with people, because I've always just, like, it's something I struggle with. Like I said, there was a period of time where I was like, no, I'm a little more outgoing, I'm more speaking my mind, I'm having more fun. And like I said, my certain things happened, dark period, I turned within myself, and like I said, just haven't been able to crawl back in. So that's just kind of like the main thing I kind of took away from this whole, once again, nostalgia trip. Once again, there was probably no other point to this video, but it's just like, I don't know, like, once again, kind of giving little updates about where I am in certain things. I don't know if I'm gonna, chronologically, like, make a chronicle of like, hey, here's me, hey, I made a new friend today. I doubt I'm gonna do anything like that, but it's just kind of like, I don't know, giving you a little insight into my head every once in a while. Like I said, I don't know if I'm gonna do these videos a lot. They'll probably come about when I was like, oh, here's something I want to talk about, something I want to put out there in the world. That's just me. Yeah, I've rambled enough. That's enough rambling for today. Well, at least for the sake of this video. So until the next time we meet, be happy, be safe, live life to the fullest, and enjoy it. Good day and goodbye.